Your Honor, I've been a policeman for 12 years, and I think it's the best organization in the country. At times I've been accused of being too aggressive and taking criminals off the street. Well, if that's a sin, then I guess I'm guilty. All the cops I've worked with are good cops. You are. Doing a tough job. And I only hope that the outcome of this trial is such that the whole department is not judged by what has transpired here.
Mr. Tango has spoken very eloquently. And I wish I could be as forgiving. But I can't, because this whole thing fucking sucks. I mean, this is the biggest pile of shit.
Your Honor, Your Honor, order. Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor, order. Your Honor, be seated, Mr. Cash.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're doing something a little different today. We got a kind of a really busy summer coming here, as y'all know, with a bunch of. We decided we got to get Scream out. I was looking forward to the new Scream, so we figured we're gonna pepper in another one. Today's is a little treat because everyone loves Tango and Cash. I try not to laugh, but it's Tango and Cash. But we're going to do the Indiana Jones franchise, the Mission Impossible franchise, and we decided we're going to do the Nightmare on Elm Streets because our Friday 13th were so popular. So we got a busy time ahead of us, so we wanted to pepper in a little hidden gem, depending how this conversation goes, and that's where we're at. Now, what we're going to do here is that we're going to have some regular listeners come on once in a while and to, play along and see where it goes from there. So right now we have Simon, who's a long-time listener. Try not to laugh because I know.
Hey, Simon.
Hello, guys. I can't wait to play along.
Okay, that sounded just disturbing on so many levels, but probably because that's how I introduced it.
You're welcome.
Like Chucky. I'm Simon. Hey, want to play?
Wow, that was bad.
I always want to play.
Right?
Again, go back to what I just said recently, but that's just really disturbing.
Simon, what you do in your own privacy of your own home has got nothing to do with us.
Not yet, anyway.
So welcome, Simon. This should be an easy. You picked Tango and Cash.
One of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion.
I think, and that's our backup plan. We got Trevor.
Right, yeah. In reserve.
So, we're just going to pretty much open up and talk about Tango and Cash. Again, we like our 80s cheese. And what better way to talk 80s cheese than a fun fact? This was the last film put in the cinemas in the 80s.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's kind of bittersweet because we talked about this with, I think it was like Come in Peace or one of those bad movies with Dolph Lundgren in it. No, we talked about with Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
And what we're saying here is that movies were a lot like music. So you had the glam rock bands, the Motley Crue, Cinderella, Dokken, all these bands who I still adore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then the transition to music went dark. Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam.
Grunge.
And I feel that's what movies did too. 80s cheese was thrown out, and then you went to more of the darker tone films that were starting to come out. Coming of age kind of films.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of our last hurrah.
I'm sorry about this. It should be too dull.
But
out my front drilling.
Wow.
Oh, fuck me.
Right, once it's sort of, it seems to be okay now. So
right.
Go ahead now.
I'm sure you'll probably hear my neighbor's dog here in a second anyway, so.
Handle the dog, but like a drill, like it's a bit much. But go ahead, yeah.
He's going to make this shit up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell. All right, so Tango and Cash, directed by Andrei Trunchkowski or something like that. Now, this guy was an artsy-fartsy director. He does a lot of smarter art house independent film. He did one kind of action film, which is awesome. People should check it out with John Voight and Eric Roberts called Runaway Train.
Yes.
But this is kind of a complete different take for him. And he was fired while filming this but he got most of it in 3/4 of the way. And his argument with the studio was, this is fun to do, but we need to have a serious tone in this. We need to put something else in this besides the tongue-in-cheek banter nonstop. So he insisted that he wanted that. And I'm going to be honest with you, he was right.
Probably, yeah.
This gets a little too much, especially when they get to the prison scene. They could have gave us something a little darker and edgier and play with that. But that's what he wanted to do, and they said no, so he walked off.
Yeah, and apparently he stated in interviews afterwards that apparently Stallone was great, was a complete professional, and the voice of reason, between the sort of interactions between him and the studio, and which doesn't surprise me because Stallone comes across like that anyway. But I mean, I totally get what he's saying as well, because I'll give you an example. The Lethal Weapon films, while they have all this banter, and this is very much inspired by Lethal Weapon in several ways, and also James Bond and other things, but the Lethal Weapons have a serious tone. They can be serious when they want to be at the same time, whereas this is just basically, as entertaining as it is, and as much as I love it, it needs to have some sort of serious sort of core to it at the same time, because it's basically just a comedy, an over-the-top action comedy.
Yeah, what Trevor was saying, but it almost should have been released as a comedy rather than what they thought was more of a serious kind of cop movie. Like Trevor said about Lethal Weapon and stuff, which are funny, but they are very serious at the same time, when they need to be.
And I think that's because this is the same studio. That's Warner Brothers. Yeah. So I think Warner Brothers didn't want to copy and paste. It's unfortunate. But again, guys, there's a lot of people love this film. I love it. It's like it's like Commando.
Yeah.
So guys, we're gonna rip it to shreds, but it's a fucking classic.
It's fucking classic. It'll never stop being a classic. It's too funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad. I mean, no, it's not so bad. It's good. It's good, but there's some moments we gotta talk about here.
Yeah. Kurt Russell and Drag for a start.
Oh. My dream woman.
Sorry, hammering that.
Wait a minute. You gotta cut your hammering, guys. I gotta tell you as we do this podcast, because I'm not gonna keep stopping and starting. So, handyman Trevor.
Yeah.
He's got some landscaping going on.
Nice.
So we're gonna hear some drills and hammering.
Wow.
Look at that. That was perfect timing.
Yeah. It's almost like a beat.
I can't hear anything.
That's the hammer. You can't hear it?
Nope.
Can you hear me?
I can hear Trevor.
No, I can hear. Trevor says he can't hear the hammer.
Trevor can't.
No, Simon said he couldn't hear the hammer.
I can't hear the hammer.
Oh.
Who can hear the hammer? I can't.
The important thing is my Audacity can hear it and it's picking it up.
Yeah. Well, must be my headphones. My headphones must be super duper noise reduction or something.
I don't know.
Too bad Audacity isn't. You know what? We're going to go for it. We're just going to have fun with this one.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's fucking Tango and Cash.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'll tell you what. There's some... Simon called out some moments, and we'll get to them with bulletproof vests and stuff, but it's... let's just jump into it. So we've got...
There we go. Oh, what was that?
Oh, fucking hell.
I heard something there.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say here.
Does Trevor have a gimp?
Beyond my control.
Does Trevor have a gimp?
I don't care.
Do I have a what?
A gimp?
Yeah, I'm a dungeon. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I knew Trevor had a gimp. That's why he's a big fucking Pulp Fiction fan.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
And fucking Twin Peaks. He likes that gimp shit.
Hugely inspired. What we talking about Twin Peaks? What's that got to do with gimps?
Oh, he's got to have a gimp in that fucking freak show. Jeez. All right. Anyways, we're here to talk to Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash. The longest, shortest podcast in the world.
Yep. Well, the intro's still going.
Yeah.
So, actually, we have to fill it. We have to fill it in because let's be. I mean, there's not much to talk about here.
That's
so
short and sweet.
This is crazy.
Right. What's he hammering? What is he hammering?
It's some guy working down the stairs. He's putting in, it's like new internet cables in the area or something like that. But he says he'll be finished by about 1:30, so hopefully any minute now. Well, it's 1:15 now, so hopefully at some point very soon.
I don't know if we should just keep recording.
Oh, just keep recording.
Wait.
No, I would just record.
It's good laugh.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, so Stallone's intro. Fucking stupid.
Brilliant.
But we'll go with it. He's shooting at this truck coming at him like 50 miles an hour, and they could easily just duck and run over him, but they're just going to hit the brakes and both fly out of the truck.
Perfect.
It's stupid.
But does anyone...
Now, I don't know the law of physics.
Well, they're not that good. I mean...
Apparently this scene is heavily inspired by a similar one Jackie Chan did.
I don't give a shit. He's not in it.
Yeah. Should have been.
Obviously not in this film.
What?
Okay, so...
Do either of you know why he took his bullets out and put new bullets in his gun?
I was going to ask that.
Was it like...
What do you mean put new bullets
He emptied
in?
his gun of his bullets and then put a new round of bullets in his gun. And I'm assuming they were...
Yes, that's correct.
Were they like hollow points or something? So they would go through the...
Yeah, there were stronger bullets to go penetrate the glass.
Okay.
So
Because bullets don't go through glass.
normal
Regular bullets.
normal bullets don't.
right. So they were like magic bullets or something?
magic bullets.
I think that was just for show. Just to like, look at me, I'm cool, I got my own bullets.
Wow, look at me. Yeah. I was very impressed.
All right. Well, so you got the intro, and he's all posh, and he's the banker of the group. He's like Wall Street man. And then we are introduced to the opposite side, the flip side of the coin, which is Cash, which is Russell.
Greatest cop of all time.
Tell you what, right now, yeah, if Kurt Russell was not in this film, this would have been a disaster.
Oh, horrible.
100%.
Horrible.
He is the actor in this group.
Yep.
He is perfect in his lines, his delivery. You can give him a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and he'll mold it into something fun. Where Stallone is actually a lot better than we talked with Stop O Mama Shoot and other films he's done.
Cobra.
Cobra. He is better, but they only work if Kurt Russell's in the room.
Mm-hmm. They actually have great chemistry together.
I don't know why they didn't have a sequel.
Yeah, that's right. I was about to say the same thing. I thought I had a part 2 at some point. Might have been interesting to see what way they kind of went with it.
How did this do at the box office?
It did all right.
Yeah. So it would have warranted, in several sort of aspects, it would have warranted a sequel.
Well, you could have.
Maybe that's because of what we talked about earlier, where the times have changed, the decades.
Possibly.
Kurt Russell went on to do Backdraft, Tombstone, a little more, drama-esque kind of films.
Yeah, clearly there was a spot where Terry Hatcher would have had a main part in the sequel, because she was absolutely outstanding in this movie. You know what I mean? She is.
She brings a lot to the. She doesn't bring any acting, but she certainly brings some kind of.
She brings something.
Dancing. She brings dancing.
Yeah, she's a good wee dancer. And she can ride a motorcycle.
And drumming.
Oh, drumming! That's not going about the drumming.
Oh my God, that's the worst. That drumming had absolutely wasn't even at all choreographed for the music.
I mean,
what sort of a club was this? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Why she drumming? Why she still got clothes on?
Yeah. What sort of a club was this? I mean, it was kind of a strip club, but it wasn't a strip club.
Yeah,
it was just, exotic dance club or something. I don't know.
I can't remember how much he said it was when he first walks in for the cover charge. Was it $20 or something? I can't remember what he says when he walks in. And then you're like, what the hell am I watching this crap for? Some chick with a wind machine playing fake air drums. What the hell?
Oh no, she was playing them. She actually was playing them, but the problem is they weren't coordinated with the.
Oh, music. she was actually supposed to be playing them. I thought it was like a fake thing.
She was playing. You could
she wasn't playing them in time, but the music that was on the screen will tell you that. But that was her.
So we've jumped right ahead. Well, we've jumped right ahead here. We're talking more about Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, I guess I get it. Let's talk about the basic plot here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you've got Tango and Cash who are taking the money from our boy Jack Palance, who's always nice to see.
Yep.
He plays Perret. You got Quan, James Hong, who we love to see.
Yep.
And we've got the really bad Californian playing in English.
Oh, that's
Brian
you
James.
fucking wanker.
Bloody wanker.
Governor, would you like a cup of tea, Governor? See, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was
going to say that's the only worse English accent than this guy is Ciaran's.
Mine's better.
Jesus, no!
I'll cut your fucking heart out. You cheeky
he sounded like he was like trying to be some sort of like bad Russell Brand impression.
See, I could never figure out if he was actually trying to be English or Australian when he was doing it.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, actually, in reality, there's quite a lot of similarities between the Cockney and Australian accents, and there actually is a historical context to that because a lot of sort of Cockney went off to Australia and stuff. So there is sort of, you know, back in the day. But we're getting sidetracked here.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Educational hour?
But thank you for that information, Trevor. I didn't actually know that. But now that's why there's a similarity between the two.
Wow, yeah, yeah.
See?
Every day's a school day.
A bit of education.
On
Bit
citizen
of
freedom.
educational today. Love it. Anyway, it was shite.
So you've got the two badass cops. They get set up, and quite frankly, the FBI does it, but they're paid or something. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, we're not worried. We're not worried about that.
And who cares about
why it happened?
The realism here. Of all the cops, the two captains try to help them. That's it.
Yep.
No, of all the police force and all the other FBI agents and all the detectives in LA,
not the mayor, nothing.
None of them could figure out, like, you know what, they're being set up.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ciaran, did you notice that just after us doing Reservoir Dogs, did you notice it was Eddie Bunker playing the captain of
Captain
Russell's?
Holmes. Yeah, Captain Holmes. He played Mr. Blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also Juliette Lewis's dad was playing the other captain.
Oh yeah.
You mean Jeffrey Lewis?
Yes.
I love how you don't even know the actor's name, but you know
the daughter's name.
Well, he's in Salem's Lot. The guy from Salem's Lot.
They should have put that scene in there. Look at me. Yeah. So they get, and here's what works. Okay, so we had the intro of Stallone. It was okay. It was silly and stupid. Well, Rambo's a pussy, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Now you see, I think that's one of the greatest lines in cinematic history. I mean, back in the day, that was
really
that was. I mean, that was just fourth wall. Was that what it's called? Fourth wall, something like that.
Breaking. No, it's more like sort of
2.5 wall
meta type thing. Yeah.
Self-aware.
Oh, so wow, this is.
Well, you know. I learned big words and stuff like that.
I'm seriously impressed. I didn't realize this was so educational.
You learned about Cockney accents in Australia and Ireland.
And how they're linked.
And
prehistorical. Yeah.
Self-aware cinema.
Yeah. Very. See?
You would have got this back at school.
Imagine learning all this talking about Tango and Cash. Unbelievable.
Who knew?
So we're watching it, and the scene where Russell gets shot at twice.
Jesus. Yeah.
And he's got a bulletproof vest.
Allegedly.
The reason we bring this up, there's a lot of inconsistency in the production designer's work. So what a production designer does and the script consultant, they go through the next day's shoots to make sure the glass is as full as it was in the next shot, and so forth.
Continuity.
That's the word. That's the word.
There's a lot of miscontinuity here, and we'll talk about the captain when Stallone tackles through the screen door, and he tackles the captain through
magic
the
screen door.
But the screen door falls apart, and the next scene, the screen door is perfectly intact on top of the captain.
Also, how the fuck does somebody hide behind a mirror or inside a mirror? I mean, what the fuck is going on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Why would you go to all that bother as well instead of just, I don't know, hiding in a cupboard or under the bed? It was ridiculous.
Why? How did he hide behind a mirror but still reflecting all the other mirrors that are beside the mirror he's hiding behind? Huh?
No, but I was talking more about at the start, you know, where the Asian henchman jumps out of Kurt Russell's mirror.
Oh, yes, that's sorry,
another one. Why would
okay, I thought you were talking about...
No. No. That's another sort of what the fuck moment. Where and it's almost like James Bond, you know, sort of the man with the golden gun. You know, and there's the wee guy who's basically the Q stand-in and all in this. So there's been a lot of James Bond in here as well.
Very Inspector Clouseau.
No, I'm talking about the talking about the henchman who jumps out of Kurt Russell's mirror.
Yeah. The guy he interrogates in the bathroom.
The guy who shoots him with no vest on.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Kurt Russell has a tendency to lose his vest and not have it, lose his vest, and then lose the bullet holes that are in the shirt.
That cost $9.
He's clearly inspired by Martin Riggs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, even the look. You know?
The shaggy man.
Yeah. Back when mullets were, you know, real men wore mullets.
Blue jeans, cowboy boots, t-shirt.
Yeah. Double denim sometimes.
Can't miss a bit of...
Those were the days.
I think I rocked that for about a week. Then realised I looked up. I think I looked like a twat, so I stopped doing it. So anyway, Tango and Cash.
Yeah, so
where were we?
I'm trying to think here. So
To go to jail, to get set up.
They go to jail. So the banter's quite fun. You have a good time with it. The intros work for whatever reason. The setup's hokey, but we're gonna go with it. It's 80s cheese. We'll give 80s cheese gets passes.
Always.
Yes.
But once they get to jail, the tone should have changed. They could have made this a little darker and a little more grittier. And this is where the director was coming and getting having arguments with the studio. And he is right. It's because like the shower scene when he bends down to pick up the soap. And they go, "Oh, yo, what are you doing?"
Money Mouse, he calls him.
It's just like that's not funny. That would not have happened in a scene like that. Two cops wouldn't have behaved like that, and that's where he kind of takes me out a bit.
He's actually very cute.
Did you see Kurt Russell's dad?
No.
Bing Russell's in this. He's a famous. He played in Bonanza, a bunch of cowboy movies when he was younger, and when they're being escorted into the prison. Out of the van, and the guard pushes Kurt Russell and goes, "Get in there." That's his dad. That's his dad.
Didn't know that.
Bing Russell, pretty popular actor.
Clint Howard is actually very good. He's scenes
absolutely brilliant.
Psycho,
as a weirdo psycho.
Yeah,
Slinky.
And Maniac Cop himself is in there.
Well, wait a minute. You guys seen what Clint Howard looks like? He doesn't have to really go far to play a fucking lunatic.
I was going to say, he didn't really get the looks of the family, did he? Poor guy.
Oh, poor guy.
Didn't get the height. Didn't get the hair. Didn't get the taste.
He's all right. Yeah.
But at least he made money out of it. not as much as Ron, but
he's Robert Zadar is Maniac Cop himself. Is of course the big Conan the Barbarian, they call him in this.
Yeah, I'm sure Schwarzenegger loved that being compared to that ugly fucker.
Well, that was obviously an in joke. There was a dig at not so much a dig, like a sort of light-hearted jab at Arnie, but there's also a bit of a jab at Bridget Nielsen as well, where Stallone says, "I hate Danish."
Oh yeah.
He was just getting divorced from her at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I get it now, but I didn't catch it at the time.
Yeah.
So Jack Palance, who is in this, obviously, and over the top, he's always fucking seething.
Having an asthma attack.
What's all that shit with the mice as well?
I don't get the mice thing either.
Yeah, it's
that he keeps in a box.
Because the mice are Tango and Cash, and he tells his East Coast and West Coast guy, Quan and Lopez, that the Quan and Lopez are the smart ones. Why don't you just fucking shoot him in the head? And he's like, "No, I have to put him in the prison." And he's like, "Why? We don't want to make them martyrs." And he goes, "But they'll get escape. Who says they'll ever get out?"
Yeah, laugh.
Which I'll go with the mice. But then there's another scene where he goes, "Bring me my box," and he takes the box out. And there's two mice. He starts kissing them.
Yeah, there's pets. I think they're setting them up as, again, it goes back to the James Bond illusions, where they're setting them up as Blofeld, but a shit Blofeld with mice.
With two mice. and a shitty maze that you never actually get to see, which has upset me more, actually. I was quite intrigued about the maze. What are they at the end of it?
He did put a maze. You do see the maze. Yeah. He puts them in the maze.
Yeah. And you do.
That's
at one point, yeah. And how come the cops and these fucking chiefs and all, they don't know about Jack Palance, but yet he owns this big fuck off factory with fucking tanks and fucking A-team style fucking trucks and shit. He's a major arms dealer and drug dealer, and he also runs a fucking prison. You know what I mean? How have they never heard of him?
Excuse me. Yes, but Matt, the assistant warden, is there to help.
He did a great job.
He just magically appeared.
Let's talk about you kind of had me. They're going to be tortured, and so you have some nice banter. Kurt Russell saves it. I want to be killed by an American.
Yeah.
Dickhead, whatever he says. And the fight scene was actually pretty cool. They could have kept that going. I was enjoying it, and then break it up. But they have to go that extra step further, where they're going to get electrocuted.
It's actually quite a tense scene, to be fair.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing more. I don't know. I thought it wasn't bad. I guess it was.
They could have went for more of a kind of darker bit on that as well, rather than becoming all lovey-dovey and asking, "Oh, it's going to be okay, man. Tango, are you okay? Yeah, Cash, I'm fine. Oh, Cash. Oh, Tango. Like, shut the fuck up. You're being electrocuted again.
Yeah, it would be the least thing on your. It would be the last thing on your
Would
mind.
it not just be easier for me to lift my feet out of this water? Like, no, I mean.
Yeah. And how come Jack Palance's henchmen have free reign of the prison? They can just come and go as they please. Do these people, the writers, not understand the logistics of maximum security prisons and how difficult they are to get in and out of?
We secret door somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably something really cool, like a loose piece of concrete that comes away with a crowbar or something. Something really high tech like that.
All right, so they're being tortured. Very emotional scene. Did you notice that Kurt Russell plays this a lot, like Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China?
Yes,
absolutely. Russell can act. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but keep in mind, so can Stallone. Stallone can act, but some of these movies like this, he's out of his depth.
Yeah, I agree. Stallone can, as we discussed in previous podcasts, Ciaran, whenever he's doing the more down on his luck sort of aging, sort of, struggling guy, you know what I mean, that you're rooting for, he's much better. But with these ones where he's trying to sort of he's trying to out Arnie, as, with the quips and doing a bit of comedy and stuff, he is out of his depth. So, definitely.
Well, you can sit there and say that all you want, Trevor, but you said on this podcast that Stop Over Your Mom to Shoot is one of your fucking best favorite films of all time.
It's a masterpiece.
Simon, did you not hear that when you listened to that podcast?
I think he was more going along the style. What was her name? Estelle Getty? Is that her name? The mom? He was more impressed with her performance, I think.
Yeah.
Rather than Stallone's.
Yeah. Joking aside, yes, absolutely.
You're not as good as the Golden Girl, like, you know what I mean? In a major motion picture.
You can't beat the Golden Girls.
Stallone can do the heavy, sort of down on his luck depressing stuff, no problem. But whenever he's trying to be a sort of, these sort of comedy action roles, he's no Kurt Russell or even Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't get me wrong, he's got the brawn, he looks the part, but especially with action scenes. But he's more suited to more serious. When I say serious, I say that with the, sort of.
He doesn't really pull off the one-liners as well as Arnie does.
Definitely
he gets away with it a bit more.
He can't do comedy.
Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit with a lot of his stuff, and here it works a little bit better just because he's got Kurt Russell leading him.
Yes.
If it was just a Stallone film giving these one-liners, it'd be horrible.
Like Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra's a perfect example. He was the only one doing the one-liners, so he didn't have a rat-tat-tat with anybody.
Yeah.
So his buddy. Here's what I don't get. And the assistant warden is his good friend. How convenient that is. Matt Stokowski shows up and he breaks everything up.
Yeah.
Here's a police force with Matt. And why can't he just go, I'm the assistant warden, here's an escape plan, you got this.
Or just say,
or why not just escort them out?
Yeah, exactly. Who's actually running the prison here? There's actually, it's preposterous enough the way Jack Palance sort of like completely runs this prison anyway. But then you're sort of getting conflicting statements from Kurt Russell's mentor, who's like, no, I run the prison. No, well, who runs this prison?
He doesn't really run nothing. Like if you're getting his throat cut from ear to ear at the end of the day.
And why didn't he just instead of giving them escape plans, why if he was the assistant warden, why didn't he just open the gates and let him go? It would save a lot of hassle.
Trevor, I just said that.
Oh, sorry. I stand corrected.
Oh my God, Trevor, here we go again.
Sorry.
Yeah, but then you see you wouldn't get the awesome scene of Kurt Russell struggling to what's he gonna do? Tango hadn't showed up and saved him with that massive pipe he broke off a wall and stopped that big fan. He'd have been absolutely screwed.
Or you wouldn't have had them sliding down the electric wires.
People are listening to this. Here's what I don't get. So Stallone's like, I'm not going there. I don't trust him. And then, Kurt Russell's like, I'm going to escape. So he goes to escape, and the warden goes, I'll have you all set up and taken care of. It's a crowbar. He's got to break through a fucking brick wall. And I don't know how the guards didn't see him, but he gets through, and Stallone's still, mopping at this point because he's doing his duty. And all of a sudden, as he's being ambushed, find out Matt's dead, and he's about to die. He's about to die. Obviously, like you just said, Simon, he shows up and saves the day with the big pipe. I don't know where he got that from, but he got one. And How did he get there? He was just mopping the floor 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those things that's going to haunt us forever, I think. How did that actually happen? Because he's clearly, obviously, because he's big Stallone, so he's clearly ripped the pipe clean off the wall at some point. And obviously, it's an editing issue that they didn't show that. But the fact that the fact that they stand and have a conversation about it for about 5 minutes while he's holding this massive fan with this piece of pipe. And
well, there's probably not editing issues. It's probably the fact that a human being, cannot rip off
or escape from a cell at the same time. And
Tango can't. Rambo can't because Rambo's a pussy. But Tango can, though. Well, so, obviously, that's clearly believable.
I'm conflicted with the escape scene, clearly. But when they jump onto the wire and they take their belt and they shimmy down the, which I don't know how that works because it's not at an angle. So I don't know how they were able. And also the belt would have
the wire wasn't very taut
within half a second.
You know what I mean?
Oh, what's it? You have big words.
Basically, what you're saying is they would have got stuck in the middle.
That would have been a better movie. Oh, fuck.
It was a very easy prison to escape from.
Oh, fuck. What do we do now? And then Charlie Hatcher shows up. and a helicopter.
Coming soon, Tango and Cash 2. See, it would have been better if get to the roof and we'll have a helicopter waiting for you.
See?
No, because the guards. The guards probably would have missed it. They missed everything in this film. They didn't see anything.
Sunday alarm.
Yeah.
I love how they escape and there's really no chase cops and dogs or anything. They just he shows up at the strip club and he shows up at a garage.
Yeah. They just casually walk off after getting outside the perimeter of the prison fence. There's no cops. Where's the cops? Where's the FBI agents? Where's the shootout? This ain't The Fugitive. This is just
lovey-dovey. I love you too, man. Part 2. You be good, man. You be good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really owe you one.
And don't forget. Yeah,
I shed a tear.
Man. That was a powerful moment, though. I actually had a pause.
Yeah. I shed a tear at the end whenever the class pans, Yeah, and it's like it flashes to the newspaper, Tango and Cash are back or something, back on the force.
The heroes are heroes again. the world is right again.
Yeah, the big bad drug dealer, arms dealers are dead.
So we find out where Cash gets his cool gun boots from. I guess he knows a guy called Q.
Very small Q.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One of the
and a really irritating one.
That's Michael Pollan. Yeah. He was all right. Scrooged, he was very good in. Mm-hmm. He's likable and Scrooged. But it was just didn't pan off. It was pretty stupid. But the climax is where we only introduced him so we could get to the two best scenes in the film.
Oh.
One, Kurt Russell in drag.
That's true.
I'm sorry. That was it's almost like the diaper scene in Stop It Where Mama Shoot, but yet it plays better. But at the same time, it shouldn't have been there.
I mean, these policemen are obviously the stupidest fucking policemen in the world ever. If they didn't realize that was Kurt Russell,
a lonely, horny policeman.
They thought that was the aerobics instructor. Yeah.
Oh
my God.
The way he smoked that cigarette was so hot, though. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I was only thing could have made that better is if he stubbed it out like Olivia Newton-John in Grease. Yeah, like she was all like badass. instead of just giving him the finger when he's putting his glasses
in the stilettos.
Yeah,
and then asking for a threesome. What the fuck? Where'd that come from?
I know that would. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I get the jokes, the banter, and they don't like each other in the first, and they have some. But some of these got to the point where, is this like a Pauly Shore film? What the fuck?
It's fucking. I mean, I think. Well, you know what? See this scene. Imagine if it was fucking Stallone that had to do it instead of Russell. Russell saves this film. This film is complete nonsense, preposterous nonsense throughout. But you know what? It is hugely entertaining, and that is mainly down to Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell makes it.
Yeah, because when you do that, if you notice the Stallone sequences when they're separated finally, and they're like Kurt Russell's got to go to the sound guy who did Skinner, who did the mix, the sound mixing of the
funny,
tape to set them up. It's actually quite funny.
Yes.
How he gets the information of it. But then when you see Stallone go to the FBI's house and he gets blown up by the car, it's boring.
Sure. Yeah.
It's you want more Kurt Russell.
Yep. And Kurt Russell can do comedy and action and that sort of quirky, sort of crazy guy perfectly. Just as well as Mel Gibson as Martin Riggs in the Lethal Weapon series.
I think they both. I think they obviously knew their limitations of what the.
Let's just.
I mean, Stallone clearly will just give him a scene where somebody gets blown up, but we'll actually make Kurt Russell actually act a wee bit and be kind of funny. But then I still don't get the actor that stuntman in Stallone's scene there where he gets blown up. I just don't get that at all because he looks nothing like him. Nothing like him. I mean,
I can give stuff like that a pass, but
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I was waiting for him to be black. Yeah. That would have been funny.
Literally could have been a black guy with a white wig on, and he still would have. You know what I mean? It just looks. I
was waiting for that because the continuity is shit in this thing.
Jeez, that guy looks nothing like him. Yes, he's a big dude. But this guy was even bigger than Stallone. He had massive shoulder muscles and shorter hair, and I mean, it's a nitty gritty nitpick, like, but I you know what I mean.
Well, we tore in this film the shreds that we all love.
You don't get to do that very often.
I give it a pass.
Shred a movie that you actually love, but it's still
80s is the only way. I literally think it's the only decade where you can get away with it.
Yeah.
They just didn't care, and you just got away with it.
I'm 100% giving this a pass.
Oh, you can mean you don't worry about it while you're watching it, but if you're critiquing it, then you can get down to all these silly wee things that they did or didn't do, and grenades down pants and all that kind of. You know what I mean? I mean, who does that?
Also, there's a bit. See, whenever they get let's call him Mockney henchman. Whenever they get him and they have the hand grenade, basically strapped to his mouth. And then there's a scene where I think it's one of the two of them anyway says that he's there's a puddle. They're basically saying he's pissed himself, and it's but then whenever Stallone puts it down his trunks, the same grenade down his trunks, the camera pans down and there's no puddle. I thought he pissed himself.
Well, no offense, I'm okay with not showing a man's urine.
Yeah, no, but for continuity's sake, it probably.
Well, it's L.A. It could dry real quick. It's very humid.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
I love how they put they tape a grenade to his mouth, and clearly they're playing good cop, bad cop, and he pisses himself.
Yeah, he's fine.
But they can dangle him from a fucking building, and he's I'm cool with this. Let go.
Yeah. Oh, they weren't playing good cop, bad cop.
Bad cop, worst cop. Yes,
bad cop,
right.
Worst cop.
Bad cop, worst cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk the finale with the monster truck, which should not have been in this film. This is
the A-Team, basically.
This should have been. They really could have been cooler if they broke in like a couple of Mustangs or a couple of bikes, and they take some guys out, and then they go in stealth mode or after that or something. I don't know. But this whole monster truck was way out of place.
Yep.
It was a big finale, wasn't it? Just explosions and massive trucks and cranes and diggers and destruction. Massive.
Yeah, it wasn't even regular trucks. It was monster trucks.
Did you get in the mines in Australia or something?
And a ticking bomb.
And all the explosions were on the side.
Yes.
It was like you're in an amusement park.
Yeah.
And you're in like one of these action scenes yourself. And like, wow. That's exact. It was so bad. They could have removed this whole thing and just have them.
Like a Rammstein concert?
like walking up and rapping the door.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
But the modeling on it was excellent.
Now, when they get into the building itself, it's better. I mean, I like it more grounded. So they take out the two, the East Coast, West Coast, Lopez and Quan with the guns, riddle them with fucking bullets. I like that. We have some nice fight scene with Ninja Man, and obviously you shove the grenade down his pants. It's actually a nice cutaway.
Yeah.
Because when he shoves the grenade down, kicks him down, you see him, the stuntman, falling down, and then you see the explosion.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, actually, for back in the day. Yeah, falling down the stairs and then getting blown up. Brilliant.
Now, they were going zany here with the monster trucks and stuff. They could have had a bunch of blood just fly into Kurt Russell's face.
Absolutely.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Now, somebody explain to me the horrors, the mirrors, the Hall of Mirrors here.
There's no explanation for it.
It's not quite Enter the Dragon, is it really? Was it Enter the Dragon or Fury? Is it Enter the Dragon?
Yeah, it was.
It's Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
How do you?
But he would have to be in the front of the mirrors in order to have his reflection. And then his reflection would have the opposite where the ring is. That's how Kurt Russell catches him with the ring or something. But he's behind the mirror because when you shoot him, he's behind the mirror. So are they a two-way mirror?
What? Yeah. Well, I mean, why does he even go to the hassle of having a hall of mirrors anyway? I mean, is he into sort of like carnivals or whatever? Or, what's that all about?
Sexy time kind of thing, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, oh Jesus, that's all I need to see is multiple Jack Palances masturbating in a hall of mirrors.
You went there. I didn't know. Like that was a sexy time thing. You went all masturbatory on it.
Jack Palance, as much as I love him, the character he is playing here is extremely two-dimensional. But that's okay. It's Tango and Cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? At the end, they survive the day and they hold
Skip
hands.
into the sunset.
And
see, you know it's a really badly delivered line when it's just cringe, this line whenever they're like bickering, doing the whole sort of bickering sort of humorously type thing or trying to. Whenever Terry Hatcher goes, why don't you two guys just admit that you work well together? And I'm like, oh, fuck off,
Terry.
That impersonation of Terry Hatcher is actually worse than Terry Hatcher's acting like Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting paid sort of big bucks to do it.
Fuck. All right, final thoughts. Simon, what do you got?
It's one of those movies that I watched God knows how many times growing up, going to Blockbuster and just renting it every other Saturday just for something to do. Because obviously back in the day, us youngsters back then, unlike Ciaran, didn't have much to do. So it's just one of those classic, you got to take it for what it is and enjoy it for what it is. And I know we have critiqued it with all the nonsense that happens in it and stuff, but it's one of those movies. I mean, I remember I saw Trevor's Facebook post last night. He posted about what was it Trevor said about it was the Rambo part? Remembering the Rambo?
Yeah. The Rambo
and
joke, yeah.
Because I'd totally forgotten about that until I started watching it again, going, oh, this is where they do the Rambo thing. And remember back at the time thinking that was so funny. Like back in the day when you first kind of see it. And it just kind of brings up memories and stuff too of 30 years ago. Things you'd never think about. But you just watch them and remember the good times you have with your mates. And I mean, as a film, today's standards, obviously kids today wouldn't get it. You know what I mean? Today's there's no computers running in it or fucking computer game, whatever the shite they do these days. But it's all nostalgia with us guys because we just remember what it was like at the time, watching them and stuff, and it's all we had. So they kind of stay with you. So all those movies are the same way. Yeah. It's nostalgia for us. Thank God it is because I would hate to. I'm so glad I grew up when we all grew up when we did. Compared to nowadays, where you're just looking at a screen constantly, 24/7, and no memories maybe your mates or going place or going to the movies even. It used to be a thing going. Used to be a thing going to the movies. 100%. But my daughter never says she's going to the cinema. You know what I mean? Never. And that was even before COVID and all that. It was now they just turn on they can open a device on their lap and watch a movie, which we would have killed for back in the day. We were all watching. Well, I don't know if you guys did. I never did watch pirated movies or anything like that. When it was great, it was you were passing. There was tapes flying around school all the time, and they were absolute garbage. Yeah. I mean, they're worse than the pirate movies are now. You know what I mean? I mean, just
terrible
screen flickering, and half the time they were recorded on long recordings, so you had to have a long recorder to watch them because you get 2 movies on one tape.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, but
that's
right. I remember watching The Exorcist, and sorry, I'm kind of going to ramble here. But I remember watching The Exorcist, and it was on a long play tape, and it lasted literally about 20 minutes. And you had to pause it to try and get the good scenes where she's puking and the head spinning and all that. But yeah, it's one of those classic 1980s nostalgic movies that's just absolutely brilliant. And as much as it is corny and cheesy and 1980s total 80s fest movie of cop movies, like it's no Lethal Weapon. I mean, Lethal Weapon will always get top billing over as the movies go. This is more again. I don't know why they didn't go a bit darker with it and a little less banter, one-liner banter between the two of them, which is funny and to a point. But no, say it's always going to be one of my top. at least top tens, depending on what genre you're talking about. I would never. If it was on TV.
All right, Trevor.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to cut you off here, Simon. We only got another 4 weeks.
And that's what I think. There, is that a good segue? Sorry, guys.
Trevor, please keep. Trevor, please.
Come on, Trevor.
Tango and Cash, for me, it's obviously there's a lot of Lethal Weapon in there, James Bond, and other things and all going on there, as we've already discussed. As a film, it is completely over the top, completely ridiculous, but at the same time hugely entertaining. Switch your brain off and just roll with the madness, and you'll have a great time. And also, Kurt Russell steals the show, unsurprisingly. Yeah. He saves it as well.
Yeah, and we've got to mention Harold Faltermeyer, the classic '80s music, which is pretty much all of his stuff from Billy Goes Cop, copy and pasted in every movie. But the score is awesome. Yeah, I'm sitting with Kurt Russell's in it. End of. There you go. 80s Kurt Russell couldn't do anything wrong.
There you go.
That's it. All right, Simon. Thanks for joining us in this one. We're going to wrap this one up because it's way too fucking long.
Pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
Thank you, Simon.
Not a problem, Trev.
And yeah, maybe we'll have you back on.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow. Okay, lovely. Didn't even mention bad English.
It'd be a pleasure to have you back on, Simon.
Thanks, Trevor. How about you? Well, you and me can always just do one. And
yeah, we'll revolt against.
Yeah,
Ciaran.
we'll have an uprising. He didn't even
a coup d'etat.
He didn't even mention the fact that Bad English is the song at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? The greatest rock band of the glam band of the 80s.
There you go.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, Mr. Def Leppard.
Rock and roll. This guys, thanks for joining us in this one. You can you want your comments on this one, or you want to tell us your thoughts and everything about Tango and Cash, or how to hang wiring.
If you're ever in a bucket of water, lift your feet.
To send us a message.
Always lift your feet.
Yes.
There you go. Born safety tip. Born safety tip. But you can follow us at Citizen Frame _podcast and, of course, Facebook. The new issue of Phantasmagoria is out now, available locally at Forbidden Planet and, of course, Amazon all over the world.
Yep.
We're going to wrap this one up quickly because this is a long one. Take care of yourselves. We're out.